Hello and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. We are back on our Scentsy shit again. We all know that I can't go too long without talking about Scentsy, even though I just talked a little bit about them in the MLM fails, but that doesn't really count because it wasn't a designated video. So like I said in my past videos, I have been getting a lot of content from you guys to react to, so thank you for that. And this is another piece of content that I actually received from one of you, so thank you to the individual who sent this my way. I appreciate it so much. If you have something that you would like me to react to or take a look at, you can go ahead and send it to my email that is in the description below. It's a really corny email. It's antiscamlmsam at gmail.
What?
Yeah. But it is what it is. So if you upload a file and then send it to me through Google Drive via my email, I will get it and I will be able to react to it. Now, with that said, this particular training that we're reacting to today is somebody that I have reacted to in the past. She was one of the Scentsy family reunion trainings that I reacted to a few months back. And this time she was talking to her team over Zoom about getting out of the director queue and recruiting and all of the quiet parts that they say out loud. Now we'll get into what the director queue is in Scentsy and all of those things inside of the video while we are watching. It'll all be intertwined. But before we get into it, let's roll the disclaimer. Okay, now that that is out of the way, if you are not new here, you know that we have one more piece of housekeeping to get to. And if you, again, are not new here, you can go ahead and skip to where the reaction starts. I always put it in the chapters. So you're welcome to mosey on down in the description and click on the timestamp to where the reaction starts. Or you can find it on this bar here at the bottom of the video where it will say reaction starts here. Now with that said, if you are new here, listen up. I do not blur the faces or the names of the individuals that I am reacting to in my videos. This does not mean that I am encouraging anybody to go and seek these individuals out and send them hateful or mean comments or messages. I am not inciting hate toward these individuals. That is not the purpose of my content. My content is meant to be educational, but most of all entertaining. So let's all do our part and keep it that way. And with that, we're gonna get the fuck into it.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Hi, hello.
It is July 17th, and I'm so thankful that all of you guys showed up tonight. This was very last minute, but I feel like it's a lot of somethings that need to be said. And hopefully the right people will be here to hear it. If not, I'm ready to grow with the rest of you. I know I originally set this up for Star Consultant and above, because I feel like right now across the board, and I mean this with a lot of love, and I take responsibility for some of this myself, is I feel like we're lacking a lot in leadership right now. And I don't mean that negatively. I mean, like, maybe you don't know what to do, or you feel like you don't have the right tools that you need to be successful. Okay, so that's why I want to bring leadership calls back, maybe once a month. Maybe we'll do our first squad call, first Monday of the month, squad call, and then third Monday of the month. I don't even know if it's third Monday of the month. I'm just going to say that the third Monday of the month for leadership.
Let's just quickly acknowledge all of the product that she has in the background of her video. Now, I'm assuming that this is her Scentsy office, and this is something that I had when I was in Scentsy for about 4 years, and I had a ton of Scentsy shit in said office. And this proves the point that the consultants are, in fact, the best Scentsy customers. I mean, I buy unnecessary things, but why does anybody need this much Scentsy product in their office besides maybe needing to buy it to rank up? I wouldn't be surprised if some of this stockpile is because she had to reach her 500 PRV for the month in order to get paid at rank. That's just my opinion, though. I'm not saying that's a fact for this individual.
For lead and above, I wanted to start with Star Consultant and above because I feel like sometimes when people get to Star Consultant or to Superstar Consultant, for a lack of better term, they die. in leadership.
That's a little extreme.
And the excitement they once had when they first joined, and they were joining people up and people were just doing all the things, and it kind of just dies down. And right now, in this very moment, I'm going to attribute this to our economy. I'm not going to wholeheartedly put everything on there, because I know plenty of people are still getting sales. I know plenty of people are still getting paid at title. And I know plenty of people are still showing up to work their business despite what's going on with the economy. People are still buying Scentsy. People are still joining Scentsy. Okay. So I don't know if it's one of those things where we feel like we got there and then we don't have to do anything to continue on. And I'm just going to go ahead and preface all of this. Like, I love you guys. You know, I love you, but we about to go to church. Okay. We about to go to Scentsy Church. I've been feeling this fire all day long. I've been balls to the wall busy all day long. And I just finished these notes 25 minutes ago. But if you know me, I work best under pressure. Okay. We all do our own thing. So I want to start by saying, stop what you're doing. Whatever you're doing in your leadership, stop. Because it ain't working. Okay. This goes for me too. While we've been slow for the last couple of months, I've been revamping all of my systems. I have been working on new systems for team, group, tribe, wide, happy mail. I've been reaching out and working with my frontline more as part of frontline focus.
Like all MLM Huns, or almost all MLM Huns, Scentsy consultants do walk around claiming that they own their own business. I don't know a business owner that has somebody telling them their leadership is wrong and they need to stop what they're doing and listen to somebody else and take those steps. No, those are things that you decide on your own when you are a business owner, and you also decide on your own how large you want to grow your business. So she's speaking directly right now to star consultants and superstar consultants. If you're not familiar with what those ranks are within Scentsy, they are the two ranks right before you get to director, which is basically the start of the top of the pyramid. The star consultants and the superstar consultants could potentially only want to be star or superstar consultants. So let's take that into consideration.
I'm going back to what worked for me before. I don't care what your title is, and I don't care what my title is. Just because I'm a superstar director doesn't mean I have all my stuff together. Okay. It doesn't, I'm not perfect. I'm not this and I'm not that. I know.
Okay, she said she's a superstar director, and I just want to clarify that is the very top of the ranking system within Scentsy. So she is at the top of the pyramid, just to add a little context for you.
Context is everything.
So I have to, as a leader, I know, and you have to be able to self-reflect and realize what you've been doing is not working. If you were a director and you went to director Q and then you lost your title and you went back to superstar consultant, that's okay. Titles are titles. I've been there. I've done that. I'm speaking from experience. You can get it back. That was the main purpose of what this call was for those that are director and maybe in the DQ, or maybe have fallen back to SSC and you're struggling with, how do I get that director title back? And I'm going to tell you right now, the teams that you promoted with, whether it's lead, star, superstar, director, or star director, or even for me, superstar director, the teams and the leaders that you had that promoted you to that particular level, wherever you at in your journey, they're not the teams that are going to sustain you. They're not the teams that are going to help you promote. They're not the teams that are going to take you to the next level.
Okay, yeah, she's pissed.
She must not have, I don't know if her group didn't meet the volume this month that she's going off, but ma'am, calm the down. This is what happens in MLMs. We're all out here waving the red flags, telling y'all what's really going on. And if you would just listen, you wouldn't have to get so angry at your team because they're not doing they're not pulling their weight or what have you. Now, with all of that said, I want to go and provide you with a little bit of explanation on what the DQ is. It's not Dairy Queen. So having the Q after the director title, whether it's just director, star director, or superstar director, that means means that that specific consultant that has ranked to the director role has not qualified to be paid at rank for 3 months. Now, things that could be causing that could be they're not reaching their $500 a month, or their group volume isn't high enough. So that is why they haven't reached it. So they have 3 months to fix those numbers and get them back in line before they drop back down to the superstar consultant or star consultant or whatever rank they're going to be dropping down to. So that's what she's referring to when she says the DQ or the director Q.
If you have stopped everything that you've done to get there, what's going to happen? You're not going to grow. You have to be able to self-reflect, and you have to be able to say the hard things to yourself, like, damn, you quit showing up, girl. Like, you quit showing up. Instead of saying, I don't have time or I can't, you can just say it's not a priority right now, because we all have things that go on in our life. I promise you, I've got things going on too. Shannon has things, Courtney has things, Jessica's had things. Everybody has something going on that can keep us from working our business. It's a matter of how bad do you want it. So, hey, little one, I see him, Jessica. So instead of saying I can't, or I don't have time, or I don't know what to do, like, try saying it's not a priority right now. And how does that make you feel? How does that make you feel as a leader? Or how does that make you feel as a consultant with your customer? It's not a priority right now. It makes you rethink the situation and try to look at it in a different perspective. Does it not? And I know we have a few people on here that are certified consultants, but you guys are here because you said you wanted to show up and learn. This is part of leadership. This may be a side of me that you've not seen or heard before because you've not started team building.
This is actually not a part of leadership at all. When you're a leader, you're a leader. You're not getting yelled at by the leader. So who's going to tell her that piece of information? Anybody? Anybody? Okay, I guess we'll just carry on then.
I promise you, I say all of this with love, and I know every single person on here, you can get yourself back on track. You can get yourself paid at whatever title you're at. You can get that director title back, but you have to be willing to show up and do the work. But you have to stop doing what you've been doing because it ain't working, okay? Your focus as a leader should be to grow new leaders, as many as you can. So stop focusing on the stuff that doesn't matter. Stop focusing on, and I'm going to say it again, I mean this with love. And I'm literally going to be on stage next week, and I'm going to say this on the main stage. Match effort with effort. If they ain't giving it to you, bye, girl. Bye, boy. I ain't doing it. Love them where they are. Love your people where they are.
Oh, like you're doing? Like you're doing right now. Love your people where they are. But also, what the f***? Y'all need to get your leadership skills together. Ma'am, where are we going?
And if they're okay with being this and just being okay with, I just want to buy for myself, or I just want to share with a few people, or I'm good with making $80 a month. I just want to get my nails done each month. That's okay. We need those people too. Those people are big contributors to our teams. We as leaders have to be willing to grow. We have to go find new people. We have to find that one rock star. We're leaders in the top of this company. If you're a director, you're in the top 3%. If you're a star director, you're in the top 2%. If you're an SSD, you're in the top 1%. I think there's only like, and I'm probably overshooting this, I'm going to say 600 or less superstar directors in this company out of 250,000 consultants worldwide in 11, 12, 13 countries, however many we're in now. It's not easy getting there. It's not easy getting to lead or star. Okay, let me rephrase this. It's easy getting to each one of these things, in a sense. It's not easy to keep it. It's not easy to maintain it. Because what happens is we become complacent in where we are. We become complacent with the people that got us there, and we became complacent with hyper growth, because I'm looking at a lot of you guys that are hyper growth leaders. And I say this with a lot of love, but that's just the hard facts. When I compare my business numbers, I don't compare 23 to 21 or 2020. I compare back to 2019, because 20 and 21 is a wash. That's an anomaly that we may never see again, because our world was flipped upside down. Nobody could leave their homes. Nobody could do anything. So what did they turn to? Some people lost their jobs. So they turned to a business that isn't going to quit them if their 9 to 5 does. They turn to social selling.
Actually, the business quits them very quickly, especially if they don't meet their quotas. They're kicked out of the business. And I think a lot of people who were joining during COVID are seeing themselves fall out of the MLMs because people aren't home anymore. Like, we're back to the new normal, I guess we can say. And she's right. That will never happen again. And I also think that a lot more people, Gen Z and millennials now too, are starting to see MLMs for what they actually are. So I think this anger is the result of that, and that's why she's getting so frustrated with her team. So again, this is just my opinion and what I'm observing and seeing.
Shopping online, because what the hell else was there to do? Not a darn thing. I colored my hair blue during hypergrowth era. Okay.
What the does that have to do with anything?
Not a damn thing.
So a lot of the times I feel like the hypergrowth leaders or the people that joined and had major success right off the bat, you just kind of rode it. You just kind of rode the coattails of hypergrowth, or rode the coattails of this is new and exciting for you. And people were joining and people were buying. But you didn't continue to do the work that you did in the beginning, get to where you are. Okay. I joined in August of 2014. I don't have a sponsor. My upline, I'm not going to say anything. But I had to do everything on my own. I had to learn everything on my own. It was hard. Still hard. I don't have people shouting me out unless it's one of my friends. That's why you need outside the tribe, Scentsy friends, okay? Find your circle of people, because I don't have those people to congratulate me or shout me out or cheer me on along the way. I have to be my own motivation.
Well, if you actually want to be a business owner and you're considering Scentsy your business, which we all know it's not, but that is one of the things that happens when you own a business. Nobody's patting you on the back except yourself. That's the reality of the situation. Stop throwing yourself a pity party on this call.
I have to be my own, get up and go get some shit done. Okay. I forgot where I was actually going with that.
Nowhere land.
Just nowhere. She was driving the bus just straight to fucking nowhere land.
I don't care what your title is. The fluffy, pretty stuff, if you're doing it, stop. Don't try to make all your images perfect. Don't try to make all your pictures perfect. Don't try to make your team pages perfect if you have one, because done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. Use it as a motivator. If you're in the queue or you're not getting paid at title right now, use that as a motivation. I remember where I was going with my story. Totally remember. I was a slow team builder. I really didn't start team building and actually focusing on it until I quit my 9 to 5 to do Scentsy full time. I know it's kind of backwards. But I'm going to tell my story because I'm telling you, I know what it's like to not be paid at title. I'm not paid at title right now. It's not for a lack of numbers. We reach numbers. It's for a lack of having those 4 directors. And I'm okay with that.
Are you though? It does not at all seem like she's okay with that. Not even a little. She started this call by yelling at her team that their leadership skills basically suck and they have to stop what they're doing and listen to her. But she's okay with it. No big deal.
Because I know that the teams that were there and the people that were here when I promoted to SSD are not going to be the same people that are going to get me to that next level. I feel it just as much as you do. Every single team within Scentsy feels it just as much as you do. You're not the only one. So if you feel like you're the only one that lacking in leadership and lacking in being paid at title or having the people show up, you're not alone. Okay. You're not alone. I was a very slow starter. I was okay because I was working full time. I felt like I was working this as a full-time business, but I wasn't. I was a part-time for me. I was okay with promoting 1 title per year. By the next SFR I went to, I wanted to have the title ribbon to be the next one. Like my first one was a lead, then I wanted to be star, then I wanted to be superstar, then I wanted to be director. And I knew when I got to director, it's going to be a little bit harder to get to star director, because you have to have 2 directors underneath you. You have to reach your goals and minimums per the compensation plan. Then you have to have 2 more people that are a director underneath you. And you overall, you have to know, or you have to meet that 30,000 in wholesale. If you don't know the compensation plan, I urge you to pull it up as soon as possible and learn that front and back. Because here's the thing, when you start a new job, what's the first thing that you want to know? How much am I getting paid, and when are you going to pay me?
Yeah, and it's also not complicated as fuck. We all know that these MLM compensation plans are super complicated. They overcomplicate it, in my opinion, so that people cannot fully understand it and they're just going with the flow and getting paid what they get paid or losing the money that they put in. At a traditional job, you are paid for the work you do. You know exactly when you're getting paid, and typically it's always around the same amount of money, whether you're working hourly or salary. You usually know what the money is that's going to be coming in, and you don't have to sit there and study a fucking compensation plan.
It's the money. Are you here for the money? Raise your hand. Are you here for the money?
Here, money, money, money.
Do you know how the compensation plan works? Even if you have a full-time job, the extra money is the cherry on top, right? But you still need to know how you're getting paid, how to work the compensation plan to where you're not leaving money on the table. Because when you're not working the compensation plan to its fullest or getting paid its title, you're losing out. So if you don't know it, thank you. I'm not sure who dropped it in the comments, but thank you. The compensation plan is now in the comments. It's in the back of the catalog. It's on Workstation. So I was okay with just promoting that one title per year. And then I promoted to director in August of 2017. Okay. And I was told that, I'm gonna be real honest, it still gets me in my feels a little bit, because I would never say this to anybody, but I was told that I was a seasonal director who can, I promoted in September, our fall season. I had over 6,000 PRV that month because I had a fundraiser. However, minus that fundraiser, my team would have still promoted to director, because we still had the numbers despite that fundraiser, okay? We would have still promoted to director. So I was told I was a seasonal director. You're only going to get paid at title during the fall season. You're not big enough. You don't have enough leaders, blah, 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 blah. So I got paid at title September, October, and November. December, we were not paid at title. January, we were not paid at title. February, we were not paid at title. So now I'm thinking, well, am I a seasonal director? If I am, who gives a shit? I'm going to still show up and continue to do the things that I'm doing. I'm going to shout my team out. I'm going to do trainings. I'm going to show up on my team page. I'm going to do all the things. And then the opportunity came for me to quit my job. Okay. So March, April, and May, I actually attended Scentsy Director Boot Camp at home office in the queue.
I would love to know what her full story is, because to me, like thinking it through, I know she didn't say it's because Scentsy she quit her job. I'm wondering if the opportunity for her to quit her job stemmed from her partner or a different situation like that. Because when you are, after 3 months, consistently not getting paid at title, I don't feel like that's a smart move to leave your guaranteed pay and your job. So I'm assuming that's what happened there. But also I wanted to clarify on the Scentsy Director Boot Camp. This is something that Scentsy does, I want to say it's once a year. They invite the directors in Scentsy to their home office in Idaho, and the directors all come together and fangirl over the employees. It's super awkward, super awkward. Just look something up. I'll try and find a clip of like directors and above visiting home office and talking about it.
Okay, this is the boss, the owner, Mr. Orwell Thompson, and he's going to say something to all our Wick-Free Candle family.
Hey, Wick-Free family, how are you? We're hanging out in my office.
It's very
Scott
cool.
And Alexander over here, and we're just having fun at Superstar Director Summit.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you very
Makes
much.
it awesome.
So guys, if you work super duper hard, you get to come and you get to hang out with people like hey, you guys get to come here too and hang out in the boss's office and have fun and meet all these amazing people. This is Heidi's office. See what we're doing. So we're not here. Heidi's making me like, you know. This is Heidi! I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm just videoing for the team. Hi guys. There you go. That's Heidi. How cool is that?
I'm back. I'm back from my whirlwind tour of Scentsy home office. I met the most amazing people. I met all of the home office staff, which was fantastic because you guys are like me, you know, you hear their names in passing or on different pages and trainings and things like that, but it's just really, really nice to put a face to a name. It was indescribable almost, the power of Scentsy at home office and during that boot camp.
It's super awkward, super uncomfortable, and then they also do a bunch of trainings and such while they're there. So that is what she's talking about when she mentioned director boot camp. So when these directors and really any Scentsy consultants who have been in long enough to have enough influence come over them via the directors and their upline and whatnot, they will go to Scentsy home office, which is just the corporate office, and like I said, fangirl over these people, but talk to them, which is fine. Like that, I totally get, like, talk to people, that's cool. But they almost talk to them like they're charity cases. And then they tell these stories about, like, it's because of us that these people have jobs and these people have stories and they're so sad, and make it like this big sad story where they're just showing up to do their job. And if the consultants weren't there, they'd likely still have a job. I've said this in a past video when I've talked about Scentsy where people fangirl over the home office staff. Without consultants, if Scentsy were to say, you know what, we're going to get rid of the MLM side and just go into big box stores or whatever, those people, not all of them, but most of them would still have jobs. They'd still have jobs because the company is still there. You just wouldn't be there. And also, unlike the consultants, they likely will get a severance package or something of that nature, or be able to get unemployment, something. Whereas being a consultant, you don't get shit when you're kicked out of there.
It's a big goose egg.
You get nada. I know I went off on a little tangent there, but it's always interesting to me to talk about and just like see how these people react when they go and see people working their job.
I went very ashamed. I went very thinking I'm not good enough. I'm not a good leader like I did. I'm a seasonal director. I shouldn't have promoted. I shouldn't be having all these extra perks because I'm not getting paid at title. Like my team is kind of slowing down because it's the spring. Way back when you were busy in the fall and the spring and the J months, they're always a little bit slower. Okay. That myth that flies out the window for me right now. I don't listen to that J month crap anymore. I went to director boot camp in the queue. And when Chuck Thompson, he's Orville Thompson's brother, owner's brother, he comes in and he says, how many people are in the queue? And I'm like, these people don't know I ain't raising my hand. Almost every single person in that room raised their hand. Almost every single one. So I was like, I am. Okay, I am. And I felt like, okay, I do belong here. It's just a title. It doesn't define you. It doesn't define your leadership.
Also, are we not seeing that as a red flag? Like, if everybody is in the queue, wouldn't that be like, holy shit, something's wrong here?
But what it does define is the work that we stopped doing when we lost the title. It's the work that we stopped doing when we got complacent with whatever title we were at and decided, oh, I'm just going to throw in my 500, which I've never been just a 500 minimum person. I'm always above and beyond. Okay. But sometimes we get in that mentality of this is what got me here, so I'm just going to keep doing it. So whatever you're doing that's not working, stop. If you're a star consultant or you're a superstar consultant and you've not been paid at title at months, you need to reevaluate what you're doing. And if you have this many people on your team, we need to be having this many people. We need to be building wide and we need to be building deep. We need to teach them to do the same things. Okay.
Wide and deep. Need to build wide.
Like a pyramid.
I just love when they literally say the quiet part out loud and they just don't even f***ing hear it.
If you are a leader, if you are a lead, star, superstar, director, star director, I don't care what your title is. If you have one person underneath you, you are a leader. You need to show up. If this business is a monkey see, monkey do business. If you're not showing up to trainings, they're not going to show up. If you're not sharing trainings with them, they're not going to care. If you're not going to events, they're not going to go to events. Leaders are born at events. Leaders are born at events. I have seen people go to SFR and come home and promote director within months.
The reason for that is because it's a hype event. I've gone to 2 of them, 2 of the Scentsy family reunions, and then I went to some world tours. They used to be called spring sprints. I was in it, okay? I was in it to win it. And the reason that you are so gung-ho, do people say that anymore?
That's what you kids say, right?
They do now. The reason that people go so hard when they get back from these events is because of the hype that these people feed you. Like, it will be story after story of somebody went from rags to riches.
I am a mother of 2, grandmother of 2, caregiver of 3 with a full-time job. My son had a brain tumor. My nephew was suicidal. My brother had a stroke. My stepfather passed away. I've had my nephew since he was age 9. My sister passed away. So there are challenges that I face on a regular basis. But this business has totally been a blessing to me. I thank God for my Scentsy family. I thank God for my Scentsy customers. This business has totally been a blessing.
I had a full-time job. I had 2 children who were involved in everything you can imagine. I had a second job on the weekends, and there was no time for me to do 10 home parties in a month or to do any of the things that I needed to do.
Oh, boo-hoo.
And then the guilt, because I was so busy, by doing something else, I was taking away from my family. So the guilt was terrible. But I actually had a huge dream. When I joined Scentsy, my kids were 5 and 8. And I was a dental hygienist, and I was stuck in an operatory all day long, every day.
Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
And I had a dream of seeing my children get on and off of a school bus. As silly as that sounds, that was such a dream for me because friends would text me and say, hey Jen, your kids are at our house and we made cookies and take pictures for me. And as happy as that made me feel, I wanted that so bad. So I took my excuses of not having time and having so much guilt and they gave me drive, they gave me a reason to work so hard so that as my kids got older, now I'm there for every single little thing that they do.
One of the limits that I have experienced is the stigma that this type of business isn't real. I have had my Scentsy business, I've owned my Scentsy business for 11 years, and still to this day, my parents will ask me on occasion if I think Scentsy's run its course, whatever that means. But it's as if to say that what I do isn't serious enough, or it's not professional enough, or it's not worthy enough. I simultaneously have worked a job behind a desk as an office manager for 17 years with capped wages and maxed out growth potential. And that job let me go in February due to a merger. And not once did my parents in 17 years ask me if I thought that job had run its course. Nothing in life is certain or guaranteed, but we do have the ways and the opportunities ahead of us and in front of us to secure our paths. How many of you have made $1 with Scentsy? How many of you have made one friend with Scentsy? How many of you have overcome one limit with Scentsy? This business is very real and it's more than just a business.
So you come home from that and for the next couple months or so, you are pretty hyped up and then it kind of wears off. So I think that's actually, my thought process is like, oh, that makes perfect sense because they have Scentsy Family Reunion in June, July, and then they do the world tour in the beginning of the year. So like February, March-ish is usually when they do that. So it balances out. They try to get these people that come to every single event to not lose the hype enough to see what's really going on. And that's why people promote so much when they come home from these events that she's talking about. It just feels like a big facade. Like if those events didn't exist, I don't think that many MLMs would even last very long. It's because of the hype, fluffy bullshit events that people still, I don't know, fall for this shit and don't see the red flags.
Leaders are born at events. If you're a leader and you can swing it and you can make that happen, I urge you to show up. I urge you to show up. I didn't have a pot to piss in when I was my first SFR, but I made that shit happen. Okay. I made it happen because I felt something deep inside that this business could be more than what it was for me. I went to my first SFR as a lead consultant. Okay. I watched the directors and above walk the stage. I've watched all the things, and it inspired me to want to be there one day.
Exhibit A. And let me just clarify, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with inspiration or anything like that. What's wrong with it is that it's not sustainable. And at these events, they just fill you with hype to make it feel like it's going to be so glorious. But look at her. She's not getting paid at rank. And she's worked all these years to get to this point, and she is still struggling to get paid at rank.
Show up. Your people are looking for you. They're waiting for you. And it's disappointing when you don't. I know, because it's always been disappointing for me that I don't have an upline that shows up for me. And I never want anyone in my tribe to feel that way. And if you don't have a leader that shows up for you, put your big girl panties on, because that leader is not going to be the reason for your success. Okay. Focus on the people. The customers, treat them the best. Why? Because they're your future teammates. The teammates, run numbers and be strategic. Talk to your downline. I don't care if they're your front line or if they're 3 below you. Talk to them. If they're on your team, talk to them. And I'm looking at Courtney, so I'm just going to say Courtney for an example. If I'm running the incentive report, which every single one of you on here, you can see if your teammate's going to earn the incentive. Incentive tab, track track, and then click incentive number 3, view frontline, view downline. You can see every single person in your team. It ain't just me because I'm a superstar director. Sometimes I am able to see more than what other people are because they send us special reports, which is a perk. So get to superstar director so you can get those reports. Okay. But this right here, you can see some of you guys, I have reached out. Who's here? Samantha. I reached out to her and I said, Kaylee, you're in level 3. Let's go shout her out. I'm going to go shout her out too. I messaged her. I congratulated her. Samantha shouted her out. Okay. It's one of those things where if you have to dig deep.
You must love bomb your team. What step is that? Step what? I don't even know if we got a step 1. So step 1, love bomb the fuck out of your team.
Into your downline. You have to know how to get on Workstation, go to reporting. I look at this every day. Why can I not tell y'all where to go? Go to reporting, view downline report. You can see every single person. You can see who's up shooting star within the first day. You can run an essential to certified report. You can see who's in the first 70 days to earn sensational start levels 1 through 3. You can see all of that.
You sound weird.
I apologize for her sound. I don't know if she keeps covering her mic or what's going on, but she keeps getting muffled right here and then a little bit throughout the recording. I will try and fix it the best I can in editing, but I don't know if I can even fix that.
If you have a front line who has a front line that's about to do something, y'all reach out to the front line and work together and shout them out, pump them up, and let's do it. The promotions and the community and the relatability and the want to come from that community. It comes from working together and shouting them out. Jessica had some major personal issues going on in the last few months, and I've watched her work her way back. Jessica has one of the best, well-rounded, community where they're going to work together, and so does Courtney. Where they all cheer each other on. They want to show up for each other. That's what Scentsy is. Scentsy is camaraderie, and Scentsy is cheering everybody on to their best potential.
Is it? Ma'am, you're on here yelling at your team because you didn't get paid at rank. That's what it all comes down to. She didn't get paid at rank. She's pissed, and now she's taking it out on her team. But it's all about camaraderie and owning your own business, but also being told what to do by somebody else higher up in your business. Oh. What a twisted web.
Okay. That's part of being a leader. The more who cheer these people on, the more excitable someone's going to be. I'm a superstar director. I still show up to trainings. I show up to all of the home office trainings that they provide for leaders. And I show up to the Tuesday calls most of the time. Sometimes I don't, but most of the times I do. I watch YouTube trainings. I watch the Facebook groups where they sometimes will do like one trainer a day for a whole month. I watch trainings. I still party. I still check in with customers and teammates. I'm getting back to doing the same stuff I did before I promoted to director, before I promoted to SD or superstar director. Okay. Even when numbers suck, even when they suck, I'm still showing up. Even when it feels like nobody is listening to me, even when it feels like no one notices the effort that I put out with my frontline, that I put out with my team, or that I put out with the directors in the group or anyone in the tribe. Even if I feel like nobody is listening, I'm still showing up because I know something I said or something I posted touched or affected at least one of you. And that's what's being a leader. Being a leader is leading with passion. It ain't about the title, and it's about how can you make a difference in somebody else's life. I still message customers and I still post about my business. The hustle never stops. I still build, and I'm not relying on those who got me to where I am to get me to the next level. I may be a superstar director, but that doesn't mean I want more for my business. That doesn't mean I want to see the rest of you come up to the top with me. That doesn't mean that I don't want to see that the people that were a director now in DQ or that have dropped back down to SSC, that doesn't mean I don't want to see you guys back to where you are, because you got there. You can get back. You have to reframe the mindset of I'm the shit because I'm a director, and pretend like you aren't one. Okay? Sometimes stuff just need to be said. Sometimes it just need to be said. I don't care what your title is. If you're a lead, if you're star, superstar, director, star director, I don't care what your title is. Stop thinking because you have the title that you are the shit and you don't have to show up and work your business.
There's so much I want to say. Like, is this camaraderie? Is this what we're talking about? The Scentsy sisterhood? This is glorious. I really love it. And then in the same monologue, we'll call it, that she's telling people they need to stop doing what they're doing and stop acting like they're the shit and stop being overly confident, basically, is what she's saying. She tells them it's their business. You're literally sitting here on a call that is not required, but very strongly urged that everybody on the team gets on, typically, and telling them what to do while simultaneously saying it's your business. Those two things are canceling each other out. I wonder if they watch these trainings back. Hey, I know that some of you leaders are watching this.
Come on in, don't be shy.
If you're feeling brave enough, tell us in the comments, do you watch your own trainings back and really listen to what the you're saying?
You want more for this business. If you want to earn an incentive, if you want people to follow you, you have to show up as the leader. You have to do it. I can't do it for you. I won't do it for you. I'm not going to spoon feed any of y'all. You all are very capable of getting to the next level within your business. You have to be willing to show up, and you have to be willing to stop what you're doing if it's not working. Go back to what gave you life and what fueled you to get to where you are in the first place. Okay. So sorry. No, I'm not. I'm clapping. I apologize for that. Thank you for your patience in me taking a coffee break. If you watched my post the other day, you know I'm trying to not apologize as much. So if you were a director and you drop back down to DQ, which essentially kind of means you're an SSC right now, or if you are an SSC that used to be a director, your first goal right now needs to be and focus on being a good SSC, being a good superstar consultant. If you've never been a director, but you are a superstar consultant, your job is to focus on being a good superstar consultant. and get paid at title as a superstar consultant. That is your first goal. Okay, because you're not going to get paid at title and you're not going to get that director title back with the current team that you have. You must be sponsoring. You have to be sponsoring. You cannot rely on the people that got you there to begin with. As a leader, part of my job is to sponsor. Say it with me. As a leader, part of my job is to sponsor. Okay?
This is so cringy. It's so bad. I can't even begin to unravel all of the things that are happening. As a leader, part of my job is to sponsor. So, being at the top of the pyramid, because that's where she is, even though she's not paid at rank right now, requires you to sponsor. Yet, it's not a pyramid scheme. If you're relying more so on the recruitment of people and not as much or even close to as much on the sales that you're making, you in a pyramid scheme.
Here's where the self-reflection is going to come in. You need to do a review of your paid at title months. So let's just say it's July. We're halfway through the year. Let's just start with January. No need to worry about anything past anything in 2022. Let's focus on 23. Do a review of your paid at title months. What did your PRV look like? What did your sponsoring look like? Y'all, this water is giving me massive indigestion. It's literally burning. It's throwing me off.
What is in your water? She put some essential oil in her water. Is that what it is? I wonder.
What did your PRV look like? What did your sponsoring look like? You can go to whatever here. If you log into Workstation, and of course it's going to go slow as molasses. I'm trying to show y'all. We got two internets up in this place because one either is not working and the other one is slow. So we flip-flop back and forth. Country living is pain. Okay, so log into Workstation, go to reporting, view my performance. We're going to talk about you for a minute, okay? Baby. View my performance. Okay, my performance. It says what your PRV was, what your PWV is. If you don't know what PWV is, you need to learn that. TWV, GWV, new recruits, group, team. Now, if you're a director and you have a director underneath you, you have a group and a team. So everybody in my tribe is my group. If I'm your director, you're my team. If someone else in our tribe is your director, you're part of my group, not my team. Does that make sense? It's very confusing when we get to that part of it, but that's the teaming group. Until you have a director underneath you, everybody gets your team, okay? And then you see your lifetime PRV, your active number of frontline, and then how many first generation directors you have if you have those directors underneath. I want everybody to get a pen and paper, not right now, but after we get off this call or sometime this week. I want you to do some self-reflection. I want you to go to reporting, view my performance, and pull up January, February, March, April, May, June, and write it all down. What's your write each column, each category down, and write out what it is. Okay.
Okay.
And you should also be able to look at that and tell if you were paid at title or not, because we know the compensation plan, right? Okay. So what did your sponsoring look like? And then I want you to go and I want you to run a downline report. They've just changed it and I hate it. I won't be real. I hate it with passion. Start downline report. You'll be able to see in your downline report every single person who is in your team. Okay. Because nobody here has directors under them. So you're looking at your team. Who were your top leaders? Like Courtney, you can only go back to March, but if you've been here since January and you've been a leader since January, you guys just start from where you can. Who were your top leaders and what are they doing now? Like, what did they do in the month that they promoted versus what they're doing now? You can see all of this. How many people on your team were active or had 500 plus in PRV? Okay. Now we're about to talk about the nitty gritty, like what you need If you know the compensation plan, then you know as a lead consultant, you plus everyone else on your team combined, you need to have 1,134 in PRV between all of you to get that 1,000 GWV to be paid at lead title. If you don't know the compensation plan, you're going to need to learn it. Okay, this is not the call for that. So if you don't know, reach out to your sponsor or reach out to your director and if it's me, a message. Star consultant, to get paid at title, the combined PRV get 2,500 GWV. You guys are going to need 3,334 PRV. You as a leader have to have minimum 500. That should never be a, I don't know if I'm going to have 500 this month because I'm a leader. So I'm going to do what I need to do to get 500. Okay.
Okay, this is exactly what I'm talking about when I say that when you go and get a regular traditional job, you don't have all of this confusion of figuring out this confusing ass compensation plan. You know what you're getting paid and you know when you're getting paid. And that's that. Here, you have to learn a whole pyramid of a compensation plan. And it's absolutely ridiculous.
Superstar consultant, you need 6,000 GWV. It's a big jump. Going from star consultant to superstar consultant. It's a big jump and it's harder to maintain.
That's why I stayed as star consultant. That is the highest rank I ever achieved with Scentsy, and that's because there is such a big jump to get to superstar consultant and then up at the top of the pyramid.
Okay. Between combined PRV for everyone on your team, you need 8,000 combined PRV to get that 6,000 wholesale volume. GWV through wholesale volume. GWV is team wholesale volume. Okay, so WV is wholesale volume. As a director, it's even harder. This shit don't get easier, okay? It don't get easier. It makes you work harder. It ain't one of those things where I promoted to the top. That's what I'm doing. I gotta work my ass every single day, every single month. I have to show up and I have to do it, or I can't pay my bills because this is my job. Like, I can't pay my bills if I don't do this. So if something's not working on my end, if I'm not getting paid at title, why am I not getting paid at title? We're pulling numbers. Why am I not getting paid at title? I have to reevaluate everything I'm doing, and we have to grow new leaders. Okay, we have to grow new leaders. And if I don't have any current people that are willing to show up and work, then I need to go find new people. Like I found Courtney in March. I mean, Courtney, we've been finding each other for a long time, but she found me in a time of need, and here we are. Okay. Director, big jump. You need 10,000 group wholesale volume. That's a lot of Scentsy. That is $13,334 worth of Scentsy that you and your team combined need to sell to hit director every single month. And if you do that and you go 3 months without hitting director, you're going to fall into what they call the director queue. And if you're in the director queue, raise your hand. I've been there. It's okay. If you've been in the queue, raise your hand. It's okay.
Is she trying to motivate these people to do this? Because it sounds like she's trying to talk people out of it. How is this helping them? Aside from them maybe hopefully seeing that this is a bad business idea, I don't know what else she's accomplishing. By giving them all of these numbers and then telling them it's really hard to reach this number and not telling them here's how you can do this. What is happening?
It's okay, because the people that got you there are not going to be the people that are going to sustain your numbers every single month. And us as leaders, when we aren't getting paid at title or we have things going on, I got confused because the message popped up. Sorry. If we aren't getting paid at title, we have to reevaluate, what am I doing? What can I do different? And self-reflection is hard. It ain't easy. It ain't easy to look in the mirror and be like, boo, I know you could do so much more. I know you could do more. You are worthy and you are capable. You can do more. If I'm not sponsoring, how many people have I actually asked? When I say I've never been able to sponsor, I used to say I'm not a good sponsor. Do you know why I wasn't a good sponsor? Because I surrounded myself with negative minded people who weren't actively team building. And they said, oh, I can't do that right now because it's a 3 month or it's hard right now. That's not. I didn't do it because I told myself I couldn't do it. So if you're around, this isn't training for another night, but mindset matters. Your circle matters. Who you surround yourself with matters. I'm going to be surrounding myself with the people that are doing some boss things in Scentsy, that are earning top tier incentives, that are promoting to the top, that are earning all the annual awards, because I want to know how they're doing it. I want to be like them. I want to not be like them in a sense. I want to be like them in the sense of they have something that I want to aspire to be like. So I'm going to take my spin and I'm going to do it my way. Okay. Sometimes we don't ask enough people to join, or we put a number on how many people we're going to join and want to train in a certain month. You're limiting your abilities because you never know what that one person's going to do, right? You want those 4 paid at title stars in your downline. That's going to make up your 10,000 GWB. Or you're going to want 10 paid at title leads. Or you're going to want 67 active people on your team. Not necessarily frontline, but just team in general. Okay. And it's a big jump and it's hard. And some of you are looking at me like, I don't have more than 20 people on my team. How is that going to happen?
That sounds so doable. You just need 67 active people on your team. Sure.
It's totally unrealistic.
I don't even talk to 6 people that often.
People promote with less. Jessica, what'd you promote with? Like 25, 28, something like that. I mean, it can be done. Okay. But we don't want to only have 4 frontline when we're trying 4 active frontline when we're trying to promote to director. To consistently be paid at director title, you're looking at wanting to have at least 10 active frontline every single month. Because if you've only got 4 frontline and 2 of those people ain't active, but you're all a bunch of boss sellers and you're pushing 2,000, 2,500 PRV. I've seen it happen where the whole team is 2,000 or more, but you got that one person who just here to buy for herself. Her club ain't running this month, so she ain't getting active. Okay. You don't have a third active because you've only got 4 frontline. So we need to try to be in the habit of sponsoring at least 1 to 2 people every single month, whether that's a reinstatement or they are brand new people. Brand new people sometimes start like ignorance on fire. Like I said to Courtney the other night when she had her team training last week. When they started in March, they ran like ignorance on fire. They were excited. They were selling their tails off. They were recruiting all the people. And then, not that they're not doing anything different now, but it's slowed down. They've kind of plateaued. They have been, and this is a hard feat, they've been paid at star title every single month since they promoted. So, and I think it's because that community, that they cheer each other on and they want to see the next person be successful. And they're still all in that honeymoon phase of it's still brand new. But when that honeymoon phase stops,
She keeps saying they. I feel like I just need to address this. She's talking about one person ranking up, right? And she keeps saying like they reach director, they're celebrating. Now in Scentsy, when somebody reaches a leadership role, a top of the pyramid role, like director, star director, or superstar director, they talk about it more so as the full team instead of just the individual person. Like I have a superstar director team. What does that even mean? So that's what she's referring to when she's talking about like, oh, they are getting paid a title. They are celebrating. She's talking about the team, but really she's only talking about the one individual, Courtney.
Going to do, because these same people that got Courtney to star may not be here in 6 months. You can't rely on just those same people. So my focus as a leader, my personal focus, I want a minimum of 4,000 PRV every single month. 2,500 PRV every single month. I know it's going to keep me on track to earning annual sales. That's also a big deal. If you're a leader, you should really strive for annual sales every single year. High PRV means that you're consistently building your customer base. High PRV can also mean that you're getting new teammates and you're building new leaders. But what are we doing to build those leaders? We have onboarding systems. Are we doing trainings for our team? Are we as leaders showing up for trainings? You can't very well ask your team to show up for a training if you're not willing to show up. If you're not sharing the information with them, or if you are sharing the information with them and they show up every single squad call or on extra Scentsy, or the official Scentsy trainings, or they show up for live trainings on other groups, and you're not, chances are they're probably trying to be politically correct here because I'm a very blunt person, so I'm just going to say it. Chances are your team are they're your frontliner and downline, they're going to skip right over you and they're going to go to the next leader. They're going to go to the leader that shows up. They're going to go to the leader that they have built a relationship with or have a connection to, or they just vibe with. I've got a lot of Scentsy besties and they don't even know me. Okay. It's because I watch, like I follow them. I watch their YouTube. Like I watch them what they doing. Like I'm trying to be like you, like I want big old checks. Cause I know some people be making a whole salary, someone's yearly salary in a month. And I'm trying to be there. I'm trying to be that. You can make $50,000 a month in this business. I know people that make more than that.
That's an income claim, ma'am. You're not allowed to do that. Whether it's a team call or not, you're not allowed to do that.
Income disclosure statement all through here, okay? Nobody tell on me. Insert the income disclosure statement.
That's not how this works.
Insert the income disclosure statement is not going to work. It's always so funny to me when these people are on lives or whatever they're doing and they're on video and they're talking about these income claims and then they follow it up with
insert income disclosure statement.
Okay, where is it inserted? Where did we insert it?
That's what she said. That's what she said.
That sounds so wrong. I know, but literally, where is it?
There's money to be made in this business, but we have to be willing to show up and help others do it. And when shit gets hard, take a minute. Like, feel your feels, because I promise you, I feel you. I see you and I get you. Okay. You have to find people that you vibe with and you have to just be willing to show up. And if you're a leader, your team needs to see you showing up. And if you aren't showing up, they're going to connect with someone else. And you can't come crying to me and you can't say anything to me because other people are coming for advice when you've not been there one single second of their journey to help them, or you're not there when they need it. Okay. It is what it is. If you're willing to be a director, you got to be willing to show up. Talking with your team one-on-one about their goals and holding them accountable. This is where I'm going to go back to matching effort with effort. You have to know why someone joined. Okay. You have to know why they joined. What do they want to get out of this business? My first questions are, why did you join? What do you hope to accomplish? And now I started asking, because money talks, and I asked Courtney this, what or how much extra money each month do you need to make from Scentsy for your family to be comfortable? Even if it's $100. What can you do with an extra $100? That's maybe, pushing it right now with gas prices, but that's maybe, depending on what you drive, 2 tanks of gas for you. You can only get so much with your sales. You can only make so much with your sales. If you're okay with just selling and making money off your PRV, I'm proud of you for where you are in your business, and that is what you want to do. And I am going to celebrate that. I'm going to celebrate your accomplishments with just your PRV. But if you want to make $1,000, if you want to make $3,000, if you're trying to get a $5,000 or $10,000 paycheck, you can do it. You can do it. I'm speaking from experience. I've had a $5,000 paycheck. I've had a $3,000 paycheck. I've had an $8,000 paycheck. It can be done, but you got to be willing to show up. You got to be willing to stop doing what you're doing now and try something different. If it's, what do they say? If like that, people always say, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, in this case, sometimes it's broken. We got to fix it. We got to be willing to self-reflect. We got to get the hot glue out, or the super glue, or the Gorilla Glue. Let's do Gorilla Glue because that shit sticks. Get it out. Change what you're doing and show up. You have to be willing to show up.
I'm just waiting for her to elaborate more, but she said, in order to make about $1,000, you can only get so far with your sales. That's correct. Yes. Thank you for clarifying. Pyramid scheme? FTC? Paging FTC.
If you're not showing up for squad calls, don't expect your team to show up for squad calls. If you're not going to events, or I know some of you are super new and maybe you can't go to events right now, and I get it. Like, I totally get it. I get it. But right now, I want you to start saving for SFR for next year.
But it's their business. Why do they have to do anything that you say? They don't. Stop acting like they do.
Okay? When you go to one, I promise you, you're going to go to hell and back to do what you need to do to make it to the next one. I've been to every single Scentsy family reunion since 2015. Even when it was virtual, I still traveled because my girl Shauna, she ain't trying to watch this stuff by herself. We did 2 different retreats in Florida for SFR. Scentsy is better with friends. Scentsy is better at events because leaders are born at events. If you're not doing the things, your team is not going to.
Is this the word salad part? We're just going to keep reciting different things.
Not going to see that. They're not going to get the FOMO. When we go to SFR next week, there's like 12 or 13 of us going. When we go, y'all are going to catch some FOMO. I'm just telling you right now, y'all are going to catch some FOMO. So I want you to start saving now so you can go next year. Okay. Titles are daunting, but they're just that. They're just titles with a lot of perks. Okay. Brainstorm with others because you are not alone. I promise you, you are not alone. Write your goals down, your personal goals. If you're, and I'm going to say this, if you're a leader, you are required 500 PRV to get paid at title. Okay. Per the compensation plan. So revert back to the comp plan if you don't know how it works. To get paid on your PWV, if you are paid at title, PWV is personal wholesale volume bonus.
I want to pause there for a second because I don't remember which video it was, but there was a video that I made on Scentsy a little while back, and one of the consultants commented, and it could have even been a TikTok. I don't remember. But regardless, one of the Scentsy consultants commented and said, we don't have monthly quotas. And that is true-ish. Now, they did change it since I left that you only have to get, I think it's $250 in 1 month for a calendar year to remain active as a consultant. Now, if you are a lead consultant or above, which there are only 2 ranks below lead, which are essential and certified. If you are a lead consultant or above, you must sell $500 every single month in order to get paid at rank. So it's interesting to see that they changed the requirement to have to get sales every single month. Because when I was in, I think it wasn't every single month. I think it was every 3 months. You had to have 1 month where you hit a certain amount to remain active. But that doesn't apply for anybody in the lead consultant role or higher. For those consultants, they must hit $500 every single month. So always read the fine print.
Back on the reporting tab, it says your PRV. PWV is personal wholesale volume bonus. You only get that personal bonus if you are paid a title. That could be an extra $200-300 on your paycheck, depending on how much sales you have. I'm going to say, and Shirley's on here, so damn it, I don't want to say what my PRV is right now because she's bidding me, but my PRV right now is $3,065. Times that by, I'm superstar director, so it'd be 9%. That's an extra $275 on my paycheck. Okay, it's an extra $275 on my paycheck. So if you are a lead or above, what are we going to do to change what we're doing about not getting paid at title? Are we going to go talk to more people and join more people up? Run a downline report, sort it by PRV or sort it by TWV. I always sort by TWV because we've got a lot of leaders in the group. and I see who's close to being paid at title. I see Shannon has all this PRV. I'm looking at her TWV, and I'm going to look at who is on her team. How many active frontline does she have? Okay. If she's only got 2 active frontline to be paid a superstar consultant, I know that she needs 1 more. So I'm going to be like, hey, have you ran a downline report? Like, who's close to being active? Have you checked in with them lately? This is where frontline focus, like actually tracking numbers, comes into play. And we'll talk about that later because I'm revamping my sheets. But I track frontline numbers. And again, I match this effort with effort. If you are building it, if you are actively building a team and you are showing up and you are working, I'm going to track your numbers every single time. Because if you've had high PRV and then all of a sudden your PRV is not where it used to be, I'm going to know that something's going on in your life. I'm going to know that Jessica had something going on. Or I'm going to know that Shannon's been struggling with a lot of stuff lately. I'm going to be able to tell a pattern in their PRV and their TWV. But let's take it the other way. Let's just say Shannon is 500 bare minimum PRV, which you wouldn't be, but let's say she's that bare minimum consultant of leadership PRV. She got her 500 and she's okay with that. Or she got active and she's okay with that. But let's say she's got a team of 15 people and her TWV is super high. I'm going to want to know where that high TWV is coming from. So I'm going to drill into her downline and I'm going to see where this rock star is. And I'm going to be like, girl, what is she doing? Like, what's her story? I'm going to friend this person on Facebook. I'm going to start following them and I'm going to reach out to that person. And I'll be like, dang, you're there. Like, what you want out this business? Like, the more people that encourage this, the better. That's why we have to be you have to know the compensation plan. If you don't know it, you need to do it and send me a report like you did it, like you understand how the comp plan works, because it matters.
Which is interesting because most people, I mean, I have to give her credit for that. She knows the compensation plan. She's encouraging these people to learn the compensation plan. While I still think compensation plans are total bullshit and they're just purposely confusing people to keep them in. But it's always interesting to watch the leader trainings. I've reacted to quite a few in the past, and most of them will admit while they are on a training that they don't understand the compensation plan because it's that confusing that even if you're in a top of the pyramid role, then you probably don't even fully understand it. So props to her if she really does fully understand it and taking the time to actually learn it, but it's still total bullshit in my opinion, of course.
You have to focus on your front line. They're your first responsibility. Your front line are your first responsibility. If you have people that are mid-range PRV, but their TWV, their wholesale volume is way up here, we need to dig down. We need to find where these rock stars are because they may not be getting the help that they need. And it's not because Shannon doesn't know how, or it's not because she's not showing up and doing it. It's because she's brand new and she doesn't know how. That's my responsibility as her sponsor. I'm not her sponsor, but I'm just saying that's my responsibility as a sponsor to know my frontline patterns. Does that make sense? I have like close to 100 frontline and I look at this all the time. I can see like if this person is here this month, but she's usually not, I'm going to know it's probably because of the flash sale. But I'm going to reach out to her and I'm going to be like, girl, you got almost 500 PRV this month. And I know she ain't been active in like 3 months. I'm like, what'd you do? That is so awesome. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is that you want to say to pep them up and make them feel loved in this community and loved where they are and appreciate what they've done and be like, what did you do? You never know. Something could have sparked and they're a little shy and hesitant to come to you, but they had a party. Or maybe they had it like something. Or someone just wanted to place a big order, or it was the flash sale. We have to be checking our numbers. As a leader, if you want to grow, you have to check your reporting. Don't check it obsessively like me, because once an hour at the update is pretty excessive, okay? But it's just something that I've always done. Even when I was working full time, as soon as I started building a team, I always checked numbers.
That must be why she's so on edge. Because for me personally, like thinking about how often I check my YouTube analytics, I can drive myself absolutely up a wall.
I'm going crazy.
I wonder if that contributed to her frustration and her volume and tone of her voice during this call. Step away from the reports. You don't need to check them every hour. It will drive you insane.
We have to stop letting outside things affect us. We have to stop letting the lack of effort from others above us or below us affect us. We have to just show up, and we have to self-reflect, and we have to be willing to try something new. Because what got us here the first time, clearly it ain't working. Maybe we need new people. And if we want to earn the incentive, we're going to have to be growing teams anyways. Okay. You can earn level 1. You can earn your registration, SFR registration for free. Let's see, Shannon, Shirley, Shanna, who else? I think that may be it. I think there's one more that earned Scentsy Family. There was one more, but she's unable to go. So we had 4 people within our tribe that earned SFR registration. So they didn't have to pay their $350 registration. They didn't have to pay for that. That's a big blessing. If you want to go on one of the trips, you have to team build, because it's partly off of your sales and it's off of how you're helping your team. And that's what we're going to talk about on our August 1st, the first squad call of the month for incentive is always, how are we going to earn this? Because on August 1st, unless they change it on us, but it's on August 1st when they release the requirements, we are going to see what it's going to take to earn a trip. And it involves team building. And it involves, and I'll go ahead and say this because I'm not saying I'm not proud of this. I'm not ashamed. I had a lot of stuff going on with it last year, and it wasn't my focus. That's totally on me, nobody else. I only had a couple brand new recruits last year, and I was really worried that I wasn't going to be able to earn the top level of the incentive, because I'm not a bare minimum person. I'm always going to go, and there's a story behind that, but I'll tell you all that on the next training, why I'm going to earn for me and my husband. Because one time I didn't, and I took SFR for my trip, and I said, I will never not, I know it's a double negative, but I will never not just like earn for 2 people. I'm never going to earn just for myself. It's going to be both of us, or I ain't going. Okay. I was really worried because I wasn't getting those new recruits, and I wasn't getting those new recruits because I wasn't asking enough people. That's on me, on nobody else. But I had over 5,000 sponsoring points. What I did was I dug down into my downline and I looked who can promote to certified. How can I help them? Who can promote to lead, star, superstar, or even director? How can I help this person promote to the next level? How can I get them extra money on their paycheck every month? It's not about me earning the incentive. At the end, if you're showing up as a leader,
it actually is about you earning the incentive. That's actually why you just said that you did that. That whole story was so that you would earn the incentive. So it is about earning the incentive. If you're straightforward and you tell it like it is, then why aren't you telling it like it is right now and going back on what you just said?
And you're helping other people do all the things to achieve their goals and their desires for their business, because their business is theirs. It's not ours. We have to stop expecting us from other people. And that's where we get so hard on ourselves as leaders, because I'm a go-getter and I'm a no excuse person. And if I hear the excuses, I'm like, oh my God, I've got all the same stuff going on. But I made it a priority to still show up. Does that make sense?
No. It doesn't, because everybody isn't you, and everybody doesn't deal with things the same way that one individual deals with things. Everybody deals with things differently. So if they have the same things going on that you do, they might be taking it a little bit harder than you are. And that's not an excuse to be like, well, too bad, I'm going through the same things. You should be ranking up and you should be talking about Scentsy more and blah, blah, blah. That's absolute horseshit. So no, it does not make sense.
In a very loving way. So my job is to help them be like, hey, did you know that you're only $500 away? And I don't care if you are $999 away from certified. I would be like, oh my God, you're only $999 away from certified. Yeah, that's a long way, but I'm excited about it. Someone get them excited about it. You're only this far away. You could promote to lead. Did you know you can earn a Shooting Star Trainer Award? Like,
I'm pretty sure this whole call was just about the way to get things done is to go to events and love bomb the fuck out of your team.
you have to be willing to help them where they are, what they want in their business, and know what they want. Okay, know what they want. Because if you help all the people in the end, what's going to happen for you? You're going to promote. You're going to get paid at title. You're going to go on a Scentsy trip. You're going to earn that incentive.
You're going to go on a Scentsy trip. Oh, I've always wanted to go on a Scentsy trip.
The one that we're doing right now is strictly on sales. That's all you. It ain't on nobody else. The first part of the incentive is helping 2 people get certified. The second part was club, so it's still on us. But the incentive is sales plus building a team. So what better way to start now? Get your ducks in a row now. So when August 1st rolls around, start talking to people now so you can join people, so you can help them do the same. You have an easier chance of earning this trip than I do. Do you know that? Next month, I'll have 9 years in Scentsy. I'm about to cut it off because we're about to be at an hour. I'll be here for 9 years, but you can promote to lead and get not sponsoring points, but you can get trip points. You can promote to star. You can promote to superstar, director, star director, or superstar director and get promotion points. I'm a superstar director. I can't get no more. So I can't. So I have to make another plan. I have to pivot. And it's okay because I can still do it. Done it before, I'm gonna do it again. Okay. So I don't know if this was helpful to you guys. I really hope that it was. I know some things said are hard, and sometimes it is not fun for us to self-reflect and realize what we've done in the past is not working. So we need to pivot. We need to try something new. But if you want to be paid at title, you can be paid at title. If you want to promote, you can promote. If you want to get the director title back, you can get the director title back. But what are you willing to change in order to do it? Okay. So I hope this was helpful. I hope I didn't scare anybody.
Aye. That was one for the books for sure. I don't know what anybody would have gotten out of that aside from pressure. I feel stressed out and I'm not even on her team. Holy shit. Don't join an MLM. Scentsy is not safe. None of the MLMs are safe in the world. Just don't do it. Thanks for hanging out with me while I talk a bunch of shit, and I will see you in the next one.